There are many West Lakes across China, but there's only one that's the original, and it's here in Hangzhou. It's been the inspiration for many artists, poets, and scholars throughout history. So join us now as we discover what life is really like around the West Lake in Hangzhou. Welcome to Travelogue. I'm Michelle Lin.
Hangzhou sits on the southeast coast of the country, in Zhejiang province, a 2-hour plane ride from Beijing. 800 years ago, it was the capital of the Southern Song dynasty, which makes it one of the 7 ancient capitals of China. Now, there are many picturesque cities in China, some more alluring than others, so I was curious to know what exactly earned Hangzhou its reputation and why it's topped the list of most livable city year after year. And there it was, the answer, right smack in the city, the one common thing around which life for everyone who lives here revolves, Westlake. Its beauty, I'm reliably informed, is not just visual. It's found in the experience and joy of allowing the tranquility of the lake to wash over you and seep into your being. And that takes time. So my advice is, don't just drop by. Spend some time here and really understand the place. And if you do, you'll be spoilt for choice where accommodation is concerned, be it 5-star establishments or family-run hostels and backpacker joints. Every type of traveler and every budget is catered to here. But I haven't come to stay locked up in a room. My plan is to explore the city.
If you want to take a ride around the West Lake, you can rent a bike from several places around the area. And what you need is one of these cards, which you can get from various points. And then after that, you come to one of these stations, swipe it, it unlocks, and you can pretty much go. It's about an hour. For the first hour, it's free, and then for the subsequent hours, it's about 1 kuai every time, which is a nice, cheap, way to see the West Lake.
While you can walk around West Lake, I recommend making use of the readily available rental bikes. They're used by many of the locals as well as the tourists. You won't find this facility in many cities in China, and it's quite a novelty being able to sail around West Lake on your bike.
Oh, it's really beautiful here. I really know why people want to live here for a long period. It's so relaxing. I mean, just riding around the lake, you get to see all the sights, and you're going a little faster than you would be if you're walking. So it's a nice, comfortable speed. I've got the wind in my hair, and I keep getting these whiffs of Lycus mantis. It's so nice. Someone once said that Hangzhou was like a dream, and I think if you come during the right season, it really does feel like it.
The beautiful West Lake is often likened to a woman, and no doubt, she must be one of the most stunning in China. West Lake is in fact said by some to be the incarnation of Xi Shi, one of the 4 great beauties of ancient China. Apart from the tourists, the Hangzhou locals who flock to the lakeside in their droves also seem to find plenty to do here. So aside from the beauty spots and tourist attractions, keep an eye open for the local activity. The relaxed pace and leisurely lifestyle will have you wishing you lived here too, facing the West Lake that's spectacular from every angle and all year round.
Look, they're getting their wedding photo taken.
West Lake has probably seen more precious moments shared by lovers than any other body of water in China.
Around the West Lake, there are a couple of culturally important sites that you should stop at, and one of them is the Red Carp Pond, which has been around since the Southern Song dynasty. I mean, I just saw a fish that was this big. I wonder if it's 800 years old.
The basic layout of West Lake is 1 hill, 2 causeways, 3 islands, and 5 lakes. Something to look out for here are the 3 pagodas standing in the water near 3 man-made islands. Built over 800 years ago, these pagodas, when they're lit on full moon nights, create the illusion of 3 moons on the water. This is one of the 10 famous sites of Westlake, appropriately named 3 pools mirroring the moon.
You know, the Leifeng Tower is the highest point in the city, so it's also where you get the best views of the surrounding landscape and waterways. I don't think I'd ever have thought that Hangzhou could be so green.
As lush as the greenery is, it's not the view that made Leifeng Tower famous. Rather, it's the story, the legend of the White Snake. And another of the 10 famous sites of Westlake is associated with this story. It's the Broken Bridge.
This is the Broken Bridge, and I'm told that it got its name because over the winter, when it snows, the section that faces the sun melts, and it makes the bridge appear as though it's been broken in half.
Symbolically, the Broken Bridge is the perfect setting for the legend of the White Snake. It's a tragic and ancient tale of a mortal scholar, Xu Xian, who meets and falls in love with a fairy on this very bridge. It's the most iconic setting in the Westlake area, and whatever season you come, you'll be greeted with a different form of beauty. In the summer, the area is covered with lotus pots.
In the past, this is where they used to make the imperial wine, but nowadays it's a beautiful lotus garden and the setting for Zhang Yimou's Impression Westlake. So the only intoxication you'll get is from either the flowers or the amazing play.
But it's still too early for the show, and I have some time to kill before Impression Westlake starts tonight.
A friend of mine happens to be in town, so I'm going to go pay him a visit.
When I travel, I like to stay at quaint establishments, but I've heard the Shangri-La has a great view of Westlake, and I'd really like to see it for myself. So I figured I'd just pop by my friend Matt's room to take a look-see.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Michelle. Long time no see.
Oh, long time no see. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. How long do were you staying in Hangzhou?
5 days.
Oh, cool. When did you get in?
Yesterday.
Oh, dude, nice room.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So what have you been doing these past couple days?
Just walking around the lake.
The what lake?
The is very nice.
Oh, man, you have a really sweet view of the lake.
Yeah.
While I chose to stay at a hostel on the bank of Westlake, Matt's room at the Shangri-La has a panoramic view of the city's pride and joy. And to top that off, it's right on Beishan Road, the main street that meanders around Westlake. From here, I can see the set of Impression Westlake just across Beishan Road. Matt tells me he watched it the last time he was in Hangzhou and is planning to again. Apparently, it was that good.
Director Zhang Yimou has 3 outdoor performances in China, which are set against the most spectacular scenery. One is in Lijiang, one is in Yangshuo, which I've already seen, and then there's the one in Hangzhou set against the Westlake. I'm really excited. The show's about to start, so I better rush off.
Having seen Zhang Yimou's Impression Liu Sanjie and Yangshuo in Guilin, I was excited at the prospect of watching another of his productions, this time in Hangzhou. I was wondering how he'd handle the classic love story of the mortal man and the fairy snake. Even if you aren't familiar with the tale, you'll be blown away by the sheer magnificence of the performance, which is set on a stage built 3 centimeters below the water surface. It's something you just have to watch live. No TV screen will ever do the performance justice. It's a bright new day at the West Lake, and I decide to take a cue from the locals' books and take a morning walk around. Some of the locals tell me they make a point of driving along Beishan Road every day just to circle West Lake. And if they don't, it seems like a day wasted. Now, this is one tourist attraction that opens all day and night, so you never have to worry about closing time. If you're planning on hitting the shops, which is highly recommended because there's a wider range of international fashion brands available here than even in Beijing or Shanghai, look for the Hubin International Boutique Compound just by Westlake. You can indulge in some retail therapy, and when you need it, take a well-deserved break in the restaurants and cafes dotted along the lakeside. There are many good restaurants around Westlake, but one on Yanggongdi number 1 comes specially recommended.
Right. So, what's your weapon of choice? Pick one. Okay, before you start to think that I'm about to ambush anybody, I'm actually at the General Tea House, a little place where you can taste local Hangzhou cuisine in a different setting. It's a restaurant that's dedicated to the novelist General, who's famous for his martial art novels based around brotherhood themes and very traditional Chinese elements. So let's just see what they have to offer. Ha! Okay, I got you full.
The theme of the restaurant came about because the owners, like many Chinese both on the mainland and overseas, are big fans of Jin Rong's work. He's one of the most accomplished writers of the wuxia genre and China's biggest selling living author. So a fan base at a restaurant isn't such a far-fetched idea after all. The atmosphere is one thing, but I'm more eager to try out the food.
All the dishes here are local Hangzhou cuisine, but they have a little twist because it's the restaurant's own unique recipes. And all the dishes here, it's pretty cool because they're named after characters from Jin Rong's novels. Well, if they have their weapon of choice, I gotta pick mine, right? And this is it. Chow down.
Hangzhou cuisine is currently one of the most popular in China, and if the dishes in front of me aren't evidence enough, then I can quote no less an authority than the Song Dynasty poet Zhu Dongpo. He once wrote, "There are no finer banquets in the world than those served in Hangzhou."
So Matt was saying that the best way to see the West Lake is to take one of these boats and then just go around. 师傅，你好，我问一下，如果要坐船要多长时间呢？
时间啊，一般我们要根据游客这个需求，需要1个小时也可以，2个小时也可以。
OK， 怎么算？
可以明码标价，80块钱1个小时。谢谢。
All right, let's go. Come on. 呀，好，谢谢。And we're off to see the West Lake the way it should be seen.
Surrounded by the mountains lining the shores of the lake, I feel tiny in my rocking boat. Anyway, here I am drifting across a world-famous freshwater lake that I've only ever seen before on the back of a 20 RMB note.
现在在西湖里面的水呢是活水流动的，前当江的水引进来的，那这个流量呢算起来呢相当于33天换一次这西湖啊。它这个水是活的。
最好看的颜色是什么时间啊？
最好的看的季节呢应该是春天，那个时候呢是春暖花开，所有的树啊长出来的嫩芽啊很漂亮。
It's incredible to think that over 2,000 years ago, Westlake was part of the Qiantang River. With time and a little human assistance, it became a lake, one that's actually shallow enough to swim in, although that's not allowed. West Lake is actually made up of 5 lakes. Outer West Lake, which is the largest and most visited, Inner West Lake, North Inner Lake, Little South Lake, and Yi Lake. Altogether, it's pretty large, covering an area of 6.5 square kilometers. Now don't just tick it off from your list of been there places. Spend some time here and really savor it. Lo Shifu tells me he's been rowing here every day for the past 15 years, and he's still in love with the area.
I like this a lot more. Aside from just, going around the main area of the West Lake, the boat can take you to like little waterways and under tunnels, so it's a lot quieter around here where there are fewer boats and less tourists. It's much more relaxing.
The inner waterways of West Lake are somewhat off the tourist track, so if you feel like taking some time away from city life, get your boatman to row you to a quieter spot here. You'll be transported to a part of the world that will seem like it almost belongs just to you. And you may even find some inspiration, like the many poets and artists who have visited here throughout history. By night, the scenic sites and areas surrounding West Lake are lit up, casting an almost eerie glow onto the dark waters. This is the time when all the night owls can be seen preparing for the hours ahead, maybe starting off at the many restaurants in Xihutiandi, an outdoor complex by the lakeside. For those who are more interested in family activities, fret not, there's a free-for-all, child-friendly experience close by.
You don't have to be worried about being bored in Hangzhou at night because aside from the usual bars and restaurants, there are some tourist attractions open, such as the musical spring, which runs from 7 to 9 every night at half-hour intervals, and it's pretty awesome, so you definitely have to come check it out.
Hangzhou is a sleepier city in comparison to neighboring Shanghai. Anyway, most tourists don't come for the party scene. Instead, it's the tranquility and storybook romanticism that appeal to visitors here. It's a wet and foggy morning, and perhaps not the ideal weather to be outside. But I'm up bright and early to experience West Lake when, so I've been told, it's at its most beautiful and romantic early morning. In ancient times, this area known as Maojiabu was a grassy quay and the starting point of the pilgrims' route to Lingyin Temple. Visitors would hire a boat from the opposite side of the lake, moor their boats, and enjoy a meal, vegetarian of course, at Maojiabu, and then continue their journeys by foot to Lingyin Temple.
Locals tell me that there are 2 places that you must go to in Hangzhou, West Lake and the Lingyin Temple. And if you haven't been to either, well, you haven't been to Hangzhou.
Lingyin Temple, or Temples of Soul's Retreat, is one of the most famous and finest temples in China. Built in 328 AD, at the time of the Eastern Jin dynasty, it has been a grand and much-loved place of worship for many centuries. Now, aside from being a religious institution where Buddhists come to perform ceremonies, Lingyin Temple is also somewhere lay people are encouraged to learn the benefits of meditation and a Zen lifestyle, an important part of which involves drinking tea. Monks are known to drink cups of tea to help them stay awake during their long hours of study. Nowadays, tea drinking is one of the favorite leisure pastimes here. People can sit for hours on end, sipping tea and enjoying the company of friends in tea houses. We leave Lingyan Temple and head towards the mountains to a tea growing area that's been in existence for over 1,000 years. I'm told it's only 20 minutes away by car.
I'm headed to the countryside of Hangzhou because the locals were saying that it's the best way to spend the weekend, just to get away from the hustle and bustle of the cities.
On the way, you'll see tea plantations on both sides of the road, which only means you're heading in the right direction.
Wow, it's really busy here. I guess people from the city, come to the countryside over the weekend, and they've kind of moved the hustle and bustle from the city itself to the countryside. Maybe the tea tastes better here.
Longjing tea is said to have been the tea of choice for emperors. With its emerald green color, its unique aroma, and its crisp, refreshing taste, Longjing tea is regarded as one of the finest teas in China. It's said that people will willingly pay its weight in gold for a small quantity. There is a vast tea drinking culture in Hangzhou, so you'll find many tea houses here.
我们家务吧有500多户人家，基本上呢都是围绕着这个山头在转。这个山头周围一圈，这个山呢叫狮峰山。梅家坞呢，龙井茶最好的极品就叫狮峰龙井，也就是这个山头周围的一圈茶叶。这个最好的茶龙井茶，狮峰龙井。这边是梅家坞的，那边是龙井的。龙井村就在山背后是龙井，灵隐寺也就这个侧面是灵隐。灵隐寺。我们龙井茶最早的发源地也就是灵隐寺，天主往这边过来的，所以说祖祖辈辈都是靠茶为生。回来的，切快点啊！很香，清香。
对，清香。
这个茶叶现在的气温呢，跟春茶的气温正好差不多。所以我们叫它小春茶。这个呢，采摘完了以后晾一下，回家，然后再去炒制。基本上呢，男的在家炒茶叶，女的在山上采茶。
The local mayor, Mr. Wang, offers to show me how the tea is fried, something I've never seen before.
那你炒茶多长时间了？
我差不多15岁就开始学炒茶叶。哇！到现在的话35年了呀。龙井茶色香味形，一个形状很要紧的。手摁一下，要给它扁。
哎，我试试。
没事，上来。
这样。It's really soothing. Ooh. Hey, window hot. It's really nice and warm, and my hand's really moist at the moment. It doesn't actually hurt as much, even though it's 120 degrees. It feels kind of nice, and the smell is amazing.
So fine, I was conned. The tea frying pan isn't always set to 120 degrees. There's a temperature control, and Mr. Wang had set it on low.
So good.
Unlike most major population centers in China, Hangzhou is a place where the residents generally would rather live in the countryside. Traditionally, people prefer to marry city slickers, but here, a rural marriage guarantees an additional plot of land for growing your tea, which is an entitlement for every individual in the countryside here.
Of all the places that I visited in China this year, I think that Hangzhou is my favorite. I mean, everyone always says that it's the most livable city in China, but it's something that you can't really put into words, and I totally agree with them. It really is. The lifestyle here it's simple, it's pure, and it's truly beautiful.
And with my soul refreshed, I head back to Westlake, the place where this journey started.
I've come to realize that in Hangzhou, the Westlake is like an old friend. No matter where you are or what you do, it's just always by your side. I'm not quite done with the city just yet, so I'll see you on the next episode. In the meantime, keep those bags packed. Thanks for watching Travelogue. I'm Michelle Lean.